All right, well, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this morning. I did a lot of talking yesterday and the day before. Going to my pre-op appointment for my tummy tuck surgery, and I think my doctor's gonna say no. So let's go find that out. It is what it is. There's no sugarcoating this. I'm not anticipating that this is gonna go well. Yeah, that's it. It's hard to like, I mean, I've just got my entire protocol for surgery and medications are getting sent to the pharmacy, and he's gonna walk in that door and tell me no. I don't know. Everyone else is acting like it's gonna happen, and I just know it's not. I don't know. I don't want to get hopeful that they're like just going forward with like their standard for this kind of appointment. They don't even have like a gown for me to try on, put on for him to look at me. I don't know.
What's up, love?
I guess he's having surgery.
Okay. February or what?
Yeah.
That same day we have on the calendar already?
Yeah, you heard that right. I'm blown away. I need to give you like a heads up and a back. I mean, you've seen me literally here crying. I go into this appointment and the nurse is just giving, I'm not going to show like my doctor's name is on here, but giving me all the pre-op information, sending my medication to the pharmacy, and I'm like, oh, they're going to have to retract that. Like, oh, this is okay, fine. I'm going to have the surgery eventually, so I'll just get the information from her now. But I'm literally sitting there like, okay, he's going to come in here and he's going to say no, and you know, it'll be fine. We'll wait another couple months and then I'll come back and I'll have this information still and we'll go ahead and do the surgery. So she leaves and she goes to get the doctor, and he comes in, and I realize right before he comes in that there's like no gown for me to change into. There's no like upper shirt for me to, you know, change into for him to like look at my stomach and like determine if I'm having the surgery again. And I'm like, is he just gonna have me lift up my shirt like and like say, yep, no, you're not having this yet? But I was so confused. I was like, everyone is acting like I'm going through with this. And so he comes in and he's all happy and like, he's like, I'm so excited for you. You're such an inspiration. And I was like, and he's like, you don't look so happy. And I was like, that's because I'm literally gonna throw up right now because I'm worried you're gonna say no. And he's like, say no to what? You're on the calendar. And I was like, yeah, I know I'm on the calendar. We put myself on the calendar to like help motivate me or whatever, but I'm scared that I'm not ready for the surgery. And he was like, you're having this surgery. Are you in denial? And I was like, no, I'm not in denial. You said that. I was like, I'm so confused. And he was like, I'm so inspired by you. I'm so excited to do this surgery and make you look really, really good, and for you to get into some suits and enjoy the summertime. And I was just like, are you kidding? I was like, I don't need to be fooled right now. Like, it's not April Fool's Day. Like, why, what? And he was like, Dana, we're doing this. Crazy, but it gets even crazier. So we were talking about all the things, and I asked him about my belly button. Like, does he do belly button training? And he's like, no, that's not a thing. He's like, a good surgeon, the belly button will be in the right place, the right shape, the right hole, and you don't need to do that. I take a lot of extra time to make my belly buttons look good. And I was like, okay, but what about my hernia? And he said, I learned from him and from the financial person that they don't run my insurance. She took my insurance card. I'm sorry, my phone. They took my insurance information, but they don't even put it in my record that there's a potential hernia until they're in the operating room and they're discovering the actual hernia. My eyeglasses are glaring on the camera, so I'm going to take them off. And she's like, so I have the information in office. So when you come out of recovery, from surgery, then I put the information through for your insurance. Hey, guess what? In surgery, we found a hernia during this surgery. We repaired it. You need to cover it. And she said it happens all the time, especially with this surgery. She said this is very normal, so that should be fine. So then I was talking to my doctor about it, and he said 2 scenarios. Actually, there's 3 scenarios. He said the hernia is next to the umbilical stalk. This is the umbilical stalk, and the hernia is next to it. And he said, I repair it, I fix it, it's fine. Second option is the hernia is in the umbilical stalk and I don't repair it. You can't feel it, you never knew it was there, it's not bothering you, I don't repair it. Then a doctor, if you do ever want to have it fixed, a doctor can come through from the top and repair it from the top. And the blood supply is a different issue because I'm not doing all the stuff that I'm doing during a regular surgery. And so, I was like, yeah, but it sounds like there's a third option. And he's like, okay, well, here's the third option. And he's like, it is an option if the hernia is an issue and we need to take care of the issue and take out your belly button. That is a thing. And you have to agree to that before you have the surgery. So I'm giving you 2+ weeks to decide if you want to go ahead and take off the belly button if the hernia is in the stalk. And then I can just make that call when I see where the hernia is at during surgery. I was like, okay, I have to think about that one. He's like, why do you think about that? He's like, I had a patient a week ago. And he said, this isn't going against any patient confidentiality. But he said, I had a patient a week ago on the operating table having the exact same surgery you're having. And suddenly she yells from the table, I don't want a belly button. And her husband is like on the other side of the curtain, ready to leave and go out the door. And he's like, I'm sorry, what? What did she just say? All the nurses are like, she doesn't want a belly button? What is she talking about? And she doesn't have a hernia. Anyway, he was like, can I think about this for a second? And she had done a ton of research and seen a ton of photos and didn't care about her belly button. She's like, let's just not worry about this. I get yeast infections in my belly button all the time. I'm not going to do it. So he's telling me this story of this girl. And he's like, so these are all things to help you make your decision. It is possible to not have a belly button. It's not medically necessary to have it. If you visually don't care to not have one, then you don't need it. It's fine. Finish the appointment. Everything's all lolly dandy. Everything is great. And I'm still working through the financial stuff. And he pops his head back in. And he was like, I'm sorry to bother you again. He's like, your story just gets even better. And I was like, why? And he was like, you're never going to guess who's in the room next door. And I was like, who? I don't know anyone who goes to you. And he was like, the no belly button lady. She's here for her post-op appointment and she wants you to see her no belly button belly. And I was like, he's like, I know, I'm saying the same thing. It's crazy that she's here and I just told you about her and you might have to take your belly button off too. So she invites me. She had to give permission. She invites me into her room to see her no belly button belly. And she's literally post-op. She's got her scar tape on. Anyway. So I quickly look at it and I'm like, okay, that looks amazing. Okay, that's all I need to know. I leave the room. I do my appointment. I'm going to the front counter to check out. And she and her husband are standing there checking out as well, making her next appointments. And I get talking to her and her husband about her journey. She's lost 120 pounds. She's going to have the reverse surgeries. She's going to have her chest surgery done next year after she fully recovers from this surgery. And she's like, and I was like, I had my chest surgery 1.5 years ago in order for me to lose weight. And she's like, I had to have my belly surgery because all of my apron belly was in the way of me, going walking and running. And I was like, oh, I just barely picked up running. And I'm so excited to go without this belly and without my weighted vest and all my gear that my hat and my coat. And she was like, you're a rucker. You go rucking. And I was like, what is that? I've heard of that, but I don't go rucking. And she's like, that's what it is. Normally it used to be that people put weights in their backpack, but now they have weighted vests. And she's like, you're a rucker. If you're training with your weighted vest and you're going running already, because I told her that I can run 3 miles now. She's like, if you're running with 12 pounds on your back and your chest, and all your winter clothes, it is weight. It is a lot. It's in the way. She's like, if you're training for that before you have this surgery, come springtime, summertime, when you're back out on that trail and you're able to run again, and you're not wearing that weighted vest, try it without the weighted vest. Try it without all the extra clothes and jackets and stuff. And she's like, you're going to feel amazing. She's like, you are training yourself so well right now. Oh, it was so cool. And so we just shared with each other our congrats to each other and for our journeys. And like, the surgeon just kept popping his head and he's like, you guys give me all the goosebumps. He's like, this is so cool. He's like, I love that patients get to meet each other and share each other's journeys. And my mind is blown. So obviously I'm not giving you an exact date, but it is very soon. It's soon after I get back from Vegas with Ashley. I am so excited. So now I'm gonna drive home and I'm gonna call my dad and my sister and my brother. My brother's at work, so I'll just send him a text message. But I'm so seriously excited. So now I can do like all the things to prep for surgery. One thing we did talk about that my doctor did not know about was my back pain during my last surgery, and that's the thing I'm scared about with recovery. I have endometriosis. I have a uterus that's tilted backward into my spine, into my tailbone. So the combination of those two, that's why I have back pain. And it was excruciating. If you guys remember from my chest surgery, excruciating pain in my tailbone and having to sit in that position post-surgery for my chest reconstruction. And he was like, I had no idea. And he was like, okay. He's like, I need to know about these things. Let's think this through. And so we like come up with ideas of, he's going to look through the office. He wanted me to go in the OR room and actually lay down and try and find a position that felt good so that we can replicate that during surgery. And he's going to do some research and see if they can get a padding to put underneath my back and lift it up so that I am not in that much pain during surgery, so that I can, so then it's not a problem after surgery. But I'm also not going to be on my back as much during surgery because I'm on my back for 3 hours. And then they actually sit me up to do a portion on the flanks, the lipo on my flanks. So they sit you up for that and even I think turn you over or something like that. So it's not a full 7 hours on my back, which could be beneficial, he said. And that's probably why it hurt so much last time, because I was strict like on my back for 7 hours last time. But we also talked about like positions for me to sit in and padding that I can get, actually get like a donut pad, a pillow for me to sit on to alleviate the pressure from my tailbone after surgery. So all the things. But he was super glad that I told him that. He's like, I need to ask more questions of my patients. I need to do better as a doctor to know, am I hurting my patients during surgery? And I was like, the answer is yes, you are. I was in excruciating pain with my last one. And I said, luckily my dad is a doctor. I didn't need to bother you, but my dad is a doctor. And I called him and I said, I'm on all these pain meds. Should I take my oxycodone for my back pain? And my dad was like, no, it's not even gonna touch it. And I was like, then I'm not taking the oxy. And my doctor here was like, you have a smart dad. You're very lucky to have a dad who knows all of that stuff. And he agreed. He's like, don't take the oxy for your back pain. But he actually prescribed I don't think it's on here. He prescribed a I can't remember. Oh, a muscle relaxer. He's like, that will help your back and it'll help you feel like, I'm gonna have a good day today without having the narcotic in my system. Crazy. So I'm gonna drive home. I'm a half hour from home. I'm gonna drive home and run errands like normal with Jason. He's like, I'm just happy you're not gonna be depressed today. He's terribly worried about the cost of this surgery. I did have to pay for it today, but I have care credit. If you don't know about medical care credit, I put a very large chunk on that. I have 12 months to pay that off once surgery date happens. And it's interest free. So that's a huge blessing. And then I do have money for a big chunk of it. I put it on my Costco credit card in order to earn rebate money. And I was talking to Jason, I was like, I'm really praying that I got this payment on the Costco card in time for my Costco rebate to cash out. It cashes out in February, but I don't know if it's like the end of the month or like the end of the like statement cycle. Like, I don't know. And so if it I can see it in probably a couple days on my actual account. I will be able to see if the amount that I will get on as a rebate for that purchase. But I think I can do some like little research to find out if that will be added to this current rebate, which would be super nice. Some extra. I want to spend it in Hawaii if I get it right away, but he was like, you need to put that towards your your surgery. Anyway, it's just funny because like when I was telling the financial person everything, and I was like, well, this card I need to earn a rebate on with my Costco card, and then this is care credit for the rest of it for the year or whatever. She's like, oh, that'd be nice to get a rebate check. Like, does it? And I said, yeah, we're going to use it in Hawaii. Now we get to go to Hawaii for spring break. And she's like, oh, that's kind of nice. Like, a nice little dinner out or whatever. And I was like, oh, honey, I do Costco rebates way differently. I have $1,200 coming to me for my Costco rebate. She was like, what? Oh, you are that kind of a person. She was like, kudos. Yes. Go ahead. I will go ahead and swipe this portion of your surgery so you can earn a rebate. I'm just talking because I'm super excited, but now I gotta drive, so. All right. We're gonna just keep this day going. It's not just about me. We'll include him a little bit.
I was gonna take video over in the Best Buy parking lot because there are always cop activity.
I think it's like a staging place. I think it's a staging place for like their, what do they call it?
SWAT stuff.
SWAT stuff, yeah.
No, but they had 2 cop cars that were in an aisle just kind of sitting there. It was a ways away, so I couldn't see. So it was like they had both pulled up on a car that was sitting there doing something. And I saw both of them kind of come into the parking lot real slow and kind of drive through.
I think it is because there's multiple highway entrances and exits at that location. So they can hop on a highway and go as far, away as they need to.
Yeah, but they weren't doing that. They were there obviously dealing with some situation.
Oh, they were. Oh, I thought that
that's when they were in an aisle. They just pulled up and stopped in an aisle. Oh. By a car. So, there's always crap going on there. I guess.
It's very strange.
Maybe if that's where you got to buy drugs, that's where you buy drugs. So
I don't know. I don't go to Fred Meyer enough, but every time we do go over there, there's cops over there. We're going to go wash our car because there is sunshine outside. That is blue sky. Doesn't happen often, and we're about to go through another cold streak, I think. And so
grab the door for me.
I'd like to get my car clean because it's very dirty.
It's been a while since we've done them.
But we're gonna do it tandem. We're gonna do one car at a time. We're gonna each drive over there.
Let's get a bunch of the yellow cloth so we don't have to use their scrubby brush thing.
Okay. Nice ride. It looks kind of clean.
It does.
Okay, back at home, I made myself a little salad, that little Costco mix. And I've got some grapes. Jason's making a cheese sandwich because the ham he pulled out is bad because the whole side was slit open. Ham, it was bad, and he had already put the mustard and the mayonnaise on the bread. And he's like, what can I turn this into? And I was like, a cheese sandwich. I am gonna go and eat my lunch, my dinner. What time is it? 3:30? I'm getting a whole bunch of messages. Our friend is back in the hospital. She's gonna be there for a while. So we're texting them. Ashley has her first school dance tonight. So she's at her friend's house just up the street, and they are getting ready. It's very cute. But the problem is this is a multi-middle school dance. It's like all the middle schools coming together. And so every group of friends that she has, they're all at different schools, but she's been on so many cheer squads and different groups and elementary school that every single group has asked her to come over and get ready. And I was like, she can't go to all of them. So she kind of just said, I'm not going to any of them. I'm gonna go up the street to this house so that I can stay close to home. In fact, I think she just walked by. Nope, anyway. So they're gonna get ready. I'm gonna take them to the dance later on. And I don't think she's decided. She was gonna go to another friend's house tonight and either do a late night, maybe a sleepover. I'm kind of easing my brain into that a little bit. She's done one so far.
Yeah, and all the other kids are like...
I know, the older girls, or our older girls are like, oh. I still have issues with sleepovers, but she also has practice for cheer tomorrow morning, bright and early, so it'd be helpful to go to that house and have a sleepover and just have her stay there. Because then I can just wake up and go walking, which it's crazy how much I crave it now, because I didn't go this morning. And I listened to my like running music in the car driving home from that appointment, and I wanted to go running so bad, but I had just eaten lunch and I can't run on a full stomach. So I'm gonna go in the morning. Oh my gosh, the messages keep coming in. So I'm gonna go enjoy this food, healthy food, and then probably just end the night with you guys. No, we'll show Ashley all ready to go for her dance. This is just a party. It's just a party. We're letting her be all excited with all the girls, and that's all it is.